In the heart of a real town, there was a woman named Mama Ronke, known far and wide for her irresistible Amala. Her shop, a small but well-kept place by the roadside, was always overflowing with customers, from hungry travelers to local chiefs. People swore that her Amala was unlike any other, soft yet firm, with a taste that left one craving for more. Some believed she had a secret recipe, but no one had ever seen how she prepared it. Every morning, before the first light of dawn, Mama Ronke would disappear into her backyard, where she made the Amala behind closed doors. The aroma of her cooking would drift through the air, pulling customers like a magnet. Even those who had no intention of eating found themselves drawn to her shop, unable to resist the mouth-watering scent. Many asked her what she put in her food, but she would only laugh and say, "It is the love in my hands." There were whispers in the town about Mama Ronke's Amala. Some people found it strange that no one had ever seen her buy yam flour or even fetch water to prepare her food. A few curious ones had tried to sneak a peek into her kitchen, but she always chased them away with a wooden spoon, laughing heartily as if they were only playing. One evening, a young apprentice named Deepo, who worked in a nearby shop, decided to uncover the mystery behind the famous Amala. He noticed that every night, after all the customers had gone, Mama Ronke would disappear into the forest for hours. What was she doing there? What was she bringing back? Determined to find out, he made up his mind to follow her. Deepa waited until the moon was high in the sky before sneaking behind Mama Ronke as she left her shop. She walked swiftly, her steps silent as a shadow, disappearing into the thick forest. Deepa followed cautiously, staying far enough to avoid detection. His heart pounded with excitement and fear. What could she possibly be doing in the forest at this hour? After walking for a long time, Mama Ronke finally stopped at a clearing near a large tree. Deepa watched in shock as she bent down and started digging the earth with her bare hands. The more she dug, the more a strange, glowing mist rose from the ground. Deepa gasped, quickly covering his mouth to avoid being heard. Mama Ronke pulled out a small clay pot buried beneath the tree roots. She whispered strange words over it, and a thick, dark liquid oozed from within. She dipped her fingers into the pot, smeared some of the liquid on her hands, and rubbed them together. Instantly, a powerful aroma filled the air, the same aroma that always drifted from her shop every morning. Daipo's hands trembled as he realized what was happening. Mama Ronke's Amala was not ordinary. It was made with something unnatural. He wanted to run, to tell everyone what he had seen, but his legs felt heavy. He was frozen in place, watching as Mama Ronke closed the pot, buried it again, and walked back toward the village. The next morning, Deepo could hardly eat or sleep. He sat outside his master's shop, staring at Mama Ronke's stall as customers rushed in as usual, praising her food. He knew he had uncovered something dark, but who would believe him? Mama Ronke was loved by all, and many would laugh at him if he spoke against her. But Deepo could not keep the secret to himself for long. He decided to tell his master, Baba Ad, who had lived in the town for many years. "Master, I have seen something terrible," he whispered. Baba Ad leaned in, listening carefully as Deepo narrated everything. His master's eyes widened with horror. Baba Ad placed a firm hand on Deepo's shoulder, his face grave. "My son, you have seen what no one else has dared to witness. But you must be careful. If Mama Ronke realizes you know her secret, you may not live to tell the tale." Deepo swallowed hard, fear creeping into his bones. He had not thought of the danger he was in. "What should we do, master?" Deepo asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Baba Ad sighed and glanced towards Mama Ronke's shop. "We must gather proof. We must catch her in the act and reveal her secret to the entire village." The old man's words sent a chill down Deepo's spine. He had uncovered a dark truth, but was he ready to face the consequences? That night, Baba Adi and Depot devised a plan. They would follow Mama Ronke into the forest and gather evidence of her ritual. If they could retrieve the clay pot, they would have undeniable proof. But they had to be careful. Mama Ronke was not an ordinary woman. As the moon rose, the two men waited near Mama Ronke's shop. As expected, she slipped into the night, heading towards the forest. Baba Adi and Depot followed silently, their hearts pounding. They had to remain unseen, for if Mama Ronke caught them, there was no telling what she might do. Hidden behind a thick bush, Depot and Baba Adi watched as Mama Ronke dug up the clay pot. She whispered the strange words once more, and the dark liquid oozed out. Baba Adi's breath caught in his throat. "That is not ordinary magic," he whispered. "That is forbidden sorcery." Before Mama Ronke could finish her ritual, Baba Adi leaped forward, grabbing the clay pot from her hands. "The truth must come out," he shouted. Mama Ronke gasped, her face twisting in rage. The air grew heavy, and a strong wind howled through the forest. Mama Ronke's eyes glowed red as she screamed, "You dare steal my secret?" She raised her hands, and the ground trembled beneath them. Depot clutched Baba Adi's arm, terrified. The old man held the clay pot tightly. "Your lies end tonight, Ronke. The village will know the truth." Mama Ronke lunged at them, but Baba Adi held the clay pot to the ground. It shattered, and the thick, dark liquid seeped into the soil. A terrible wail filled the night air as Mama Ronke collapsed. Her body trembled before turning into dust, carried away by the wind. At dawn, Baba Adi and Depot gathered the villagers and told them everything. They showed them the remains of the shattered pot and the dark stain in the forest soil. Shock spread through the crowd as they realized the truth. Mama Ronke's magical Amala had been enchanted, binding them to her food with dark magic. From that day on, no one ever ate at Mama Ronke's shop again. Her name faded into legend, a warning to those who saw power through dark means. As for Depot, he learned that true greatness came not from secrets, but from honesty and hard work. With Mama Ronke gone, the village slowly returned to normal. Some villagers still whispered about the cursed Amala, while others swore never to eat from an unknown source again. Baba Adi, now seen as a hero, took Depot under his wing, teaching him the art of honest cooking. Depot, determined to prove himself, decided to open his own food stall, one that would rival Mama Ronke's but without any dark secrets. He wanted to bring people together through true flavors, not sorcery. The village watched in anticipation as he prepared to begin his new journey. The morning Depot opened his shop, he waited anxiously for his first customer. Would people trust him after the horror of Mama Ronke's secret? Slowly, an old man approached, sniffing the air. "Let me taste your Amala, young one," he said. Depot's hands trembled as he served the dish, hoping his honest work would be enough. The old man took a bite and smiled. "This is truly made with love." As word spread of Depot's Amala, more villagers came to taste his cooking. Unlike Mama Ronke's shop, his stall was built on honesty and tradition. Day by day, his reputation grew, and soon, people from neighboring villages came to eat his food. Depot's shop became the talk of the village, not because of mystery or magic, but because of the authentic taste of his food. Unlike Mama Ronke's Amala, which had once bewitched people, Depot's was made from fresh yam flour, clean water, and his own dedication to perfecting the craft. His secret was not a hidden pot in the forest, but the time and effort he put into every meal. One evening, as he cleaned his stall after a long day, Baba Adi approached him with a smile. "You have done well, my son," he said, placing a hand on Depot's shoulder. "You have proven that success built on honesty lasts longer than one built on deceit." Depot nodded, feeling a deep sense of pride. He had turned his fear into purpose, his discovery into a lesson for all. Although most villagers praised Dipo's Amala, some still doubted whether it could ever match Mama Ronke's enchanted cooking. A few grumbled that while his food was good, it did not have the pull that made them crave it endlessly. Something is missing, one man said one afternoon, shaking his head after eating a plate. It fills the belly, but not the spirit. Dipo felt a pang of doubt in his heart. Had he done enough? Was natural, honest cooking truly enough to satisfy people who had once been under a spell? He saw Baba Ad's advice, and the wise old man told him, "Do not chase the shadow of another's past. Let your food tell its own story, and those who truly appreciate it will always return." The village festival was approaching, and the elders wanted Dipo to prepare the main meal for the feast. This was a great honor, but it was also a challenge. Everyone, including travelers from other towns, would taste his cooking. He knew that this was his opportunity to finally prove that real skill and effort could surpass the illusions of dark magic. For days, he prepared carefully, selecting the finest yam flour and ensuring that every pot of soup was cooked with the richest flavors. When the festival day arrived, Dipo worked tirelessly, serving plate after plate of steaming amala with geberi and ewedu soup. The aroma filled the air, drawing in the crowd. The first to taste the meal was the village chief himself. He scooped a ball of amala, dipped it in the soup, and took a bite. A hush fell over the gathering as everyone watched. The chief chewed thoughtfully, then broke into a wide smile. "This," he declared, "is the true taste of home." The villagers cheered, and soon the entire feast turned into a celebration of Dipo's cooking. People ate until their stomachs were full, and many even requested extra servings. "This is better than Mama Ronke's food," an elder admitted, "because it satisfies both hunger and the heart." That night, after the festival ended, Dipo sat outside his store, looking up at the stars. He felt a deep sense of peace, but as the wind blew through the village, he could almost hear a whisper in the air. It was as if Mama Ronke's spirit lingered, watching. "You have done what I could not," the voice seemed to say. "You won them with truth." Dipo shivered, but did not feel fear. Instead, he felt a strange sense of closure. Mama Ronke's reign over the village had ended, and in its place, something new had begun, a legacy built on honesty and real skill. As months passed, Dipo's reputation spread beyond his village. Travelers who had once stopped for Mama Ronke's cooking now came for his amala. Merchants from nearby towns invited him to sell his food at market days, and he soon found himself needing extra hands to keep up with demand. With Baba Ad's encouragement, he trained young apprentices, just as he had once been trained. "Let your hands be your secret," he told them, "not some hidden pot in the forest." His teachings became the foundation of a new way of cooking, one that would be passed down for generations. Years later, Dipo had become a respected elder in the village. His food stall had grown into a proper restaurant, and people traveled far and wide to taste his dishes. When asked about the secret to his success, he always smiled and said, "The only magic in my food is the love I put into it." Mama Ronke's name faded into legend, a cautionary tale about the dangers of using dark magic for personal gain. But Dipo's story lived on as proof that true success comes from hard work, honesty, and dedication. His Amala did not just fill stomachs, it filled hearts with warmth and joy, ensuring that his name would never be forgotten. If you like our stories, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to drop a comment too. Thank you.